Okay, so an hour and a half later, I'm still waiting for the inspector to show up from Inspectional Services. That is at my request, not at the Greenville Group's request, because they refuse to make any repairs in my unit, even when they are forced to make those repairs by code violation citations issued to them by the Greenville Group. On July 12th, 2024, Inspectional Services and the City of Boston issued a code violation citation to the Greenville Group and legally served them with a citation a few days later. Greenville has refused to address some of the issues uh, issued in that citation, and I am just waiting for an inspector to come here and document the fact that Greenville has failed to address several code violations as listed in the citation. They just don't pay attention. They're stupid. They're negligent. They're incompetent. And one thing that I just noticed, and this is one of the things that they were cited for, is that there are dead cockroaches on my stove. These have suddenly shown up over the last, 10 days or so. I was in Connecticut helping my dad for 2 weeks, and I get back, and apparently the cockroaches have been having a party here on my stove. It's not terribly dirty. It's not terribly clean either, but I don't really cook. I just boil water. Sometimes I make macaroni and cheese. So there's really no reason for these cockroaches. I didn't even realize that these were cockroaches. I thought they were just pieces of dirt. I mean, I'm legally blind, so I can't see anything. Yeah, these are dead cockroaches. Check this out. The Greenville Group is so negligent. And I found a bunch of dead ones in recycling bags that were in the rear stairwell that I just took down to the trash. These are clean, rinsed out plastic containers. And yet there's cockroaches in those bags because maybe the containers still smell like food or something. But you know, this should never happen, especially weeks after Inspectional Services issued a code violation citation to the Greenville Group. Is that another one? I can't see anything. I can't see. Like, what is this? Is this another cockroach or is this just like dirt? It looks like it could be another cockroach. Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me? No, maybe it's just dirt. No, that's a cockroach. I mean, I can see that now. That's gigantic on my phone screen. There's also a massive water leak around this sink. They look at this. Look at how soaking wet these claws are. See all this water? This is water that was accumulating around the sink from this leaking faucet that they actually replaced a couple weeks ago. Why in the world is there this massive leak? And there's like literally just, this is a giant puddle of water. It's also under here. Holy shit. See how wet these claws are? Check this out. Look at all the water that's literally just coming off of this washcloth. There's a giant puddle under here. Oh my God. It's a flood. Yeah. So, they're just negligent. They're stupid, incompetent, negligent. I hope they get shut down. They rent to low-life scum, piece of filth, sex offenders that are criminally insane. That's why their records are sealed. I finally got information about that a couple of weeks ago. The psycho creep in 88 is a sex offender. He's constantly perving and creeping. The violent thug directly below in 76, that hideous, revoltingly ugly, gigantic water buffalo, is also a psycho pervert. Last night, he was making violent slamming and banging noises suddenly at like 3 a.m, directly beneath my bed when I was scratching my crotch. It's always related to my crotch with that piece of shit in 76 below. He literally starts becoming violent whenever I do anything personal or private related to my crotch. When I sit on the toilet, he starts violently slamming things beneath my bathroom. When I lie on my bed and pick my wedgie or scratch my crotch or pick my nose, he becomes suddenly violent. And there's no noises before or after I happen to do the scratching or the picking. It's when I'm doing the scratching and the picking. So he likes to let me know he has knowledge of what I do in the privacy of this unit. And then he becomes violent, intrusive, and aggressive whenever I do anything related to, personal body parts, right? Same thing with Irizarry, the psycho scum surveillance expert in 78 that's constantly in that bathroom somehow. That's her former unit that she lived in for 10 years between 2013 and 2022. Apparently, Greenville is still housing her in this building, as Mr. Oleg Alexeyev, the property manager, admitted verbally in person to me in a conversation that I had with him standing in front of me in March of 2023. I said, so does she still live in the building? Meaning the psycho pervert, psychopath, registered sex offender, Jasmine Irizarry, who Greenville refers to as their surveillance expert. And when I asked Mr. Alexeyev whether Irizarry continues to be housed in this building, he said, well, yeah, but maybe we'll move her across the street to 191. Well, how come she wasn't placed there to begin with? She's criminally insane. She's a sex offender. She becomes violent against the wall behind my toilet whenever I try to use that toilet. And she fills the entire bathroom with intense, sickening amounts of marijuana smoke, burning rubber, and cigar smells when I try to shower or use the toilet, but not when I'm just, standing here making a video. So there's that. Anyway, this is the state of the unit. I've done some sweeping, a little bit of organizing, moved some bins out into the hallway. This is a interestingly gigantic file right here. These are all the inspectional code violations from the city of Boston issued to the Greenville group for Unit 89, which is my unit, in the last few years. This is how criminally negligent the Greenville group is. This is all pertaining to this unit, my unit, with respect to the landlord's refusal to make repairs, to address code violations, to respond to citations in a timely fashion. These are lawsuits filed against the Greenville group by the city of Boston for code violations in my apartment. In this unit, this has nothing to do with the rest of the building, although maybe it should, because the rest of the building is a shithole as well. They refuse to fix anything there too. Why don't they just shut it down? Really? Somebody needs to file a RICO case against the Greenville group, and I'm really tempted to start that whole process right now. However, the Greenville group does give out cute free mugs when you move in, and I've had this mug since I moved in July of 2011, which was now, 13 years ago? And for the first couple of years, I have to say, everything in this building was fine. That's because the Greenville group was not yet placing DPH, DMH, mentally disturbed, criminally insane inmates in all of the units adjacent to mine. My neighbors back in 2011, 2012, 2013 were all fairly normal. There were a number of graduate students from the Berklee College of Music, and some of them lived on this floor. They were actually kind of cute. One of them was really good looking, and I used to try to talk to him in the laundry room across the street. Those guys moved out within about a year and a half to 2 years. They moved out in 2013, right when the Greenville group started literally piling this building full of DPH, DMH inmates, Department of Mental Health, Department of Public Health inmates that are criminally insane. And that's why they're not listed in the public records, because their records are sealed due to the fact that they're too mentally disturbed to be held responsible for their actions. It also means that their actions are pretty disturbing in themselves, just like Jasmine Irizarry. She's criminally insane. I mean, I didn't come up with that idea, although it certainly fits what I keep experiencing from that wall right there on a daily basis. That was told to me by law enforcement. They said she tried to poison people, I guess. She has a history of trying to kill people or hurt people by poisoning them. So that was a police officer. I assume the police know what they're talking about. But, obviously you need to have some sort of psychiatric records, and those are hard to obtain. You need to subpoena them. You need to be an attorney or have an attorney, etc. But I'm assuming the police officer knew what he was talking about when he told me that about Jasmine Irizarry, the psycho scum, hate stalking, paid professional harasser who's always in that bathroom right there in Unit 78, even though it is now permanently vacant and empty. According to what Greenville keeps telling me, nobody lives in there. We'll send maintenance up to 78 to check out who's smoking in there. Well, it's Irizarry, you retards. It's the psycho scum, sex offender psychopath that you keep referring to as your surveillance expert. She's criminally insane, but she's apparently very good at electronics. You can be both, right? Kind of like Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy were working professionals while they were murdering like dozens of people. Yeah, Ted Bundy was an attorney. I don't know what Jeffrey Dahmer was besides a cannibal, but he did something. So anyway, back to the cockroaches. This is something that I can physically document as opposed to documenting noises and smells from behind this wall in the vacant premises of the former bathroom recently occupied for 10 years by the psychopath Irizarry, the paid hate stalker, according to people who seem to know what goes on in this building, this is a problem. And I did not see this until I removed these things to clean them. So hopefully the inspector will be here soon. And this unit is definitely going to fail reinspection because Greenville is just incompetent. That's a fact.